everybody, thanks for tuning in today. I filmed a vintage inspired look a few years ago when I first started my channel, and I thought it would be fun to just do it again. I actually watched the video back, which was a bit cringe, but I still like the makeup and I still like what I did. I just thought it'd be fun to have another go at doing it because vintage inspired makeup has always been my favourite. When I was training, I did so many of my assessments on vintage inspired looks. Like so many of my first ever portfolio pieces were vintage inspired, so it's always been something that interested me. This is not using any kind of, you know, any of the proper techniques or anything like that. It's very much a modern take on a vintage inspired look, something that I hope is easy to do. And yeah, just a bit of fun. I think it's flattering on everybody as well. If any of my clients ask for a vintage inspired look, whether that's to go out or for their wedding day, I'm always so excited because I know it's going to look really good and it's going to be a bit of fun as well. And makeup is all about having fun and, you know, being a bit playful and doing something, you know, that you might not normally do. So if someone hasn't tried it before, I'm kind of extra excited to do it for them because I know that they're gonna love it. And yeah, and please just excuse my puffy face again. I went back to see Natasha for another treatment on my jaw, cosmetic treatment. If any of you haven't seen my previous videos, I've been having some cosmetic stuff done under my chin, so it's still a little bit puffy. I am also shattered. I've just got back from a girls' holiday to Amsterdam, and I'm definitely still catching up on my sleep and stuff because it was exhausting. Really fun, but yeah, I do feel like I'm still looking a little bit tired, so I'm putting those hours in to catch up on my sleep now. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy watching this. Thank you so much for tuning in, and let's get started. I thought I might get started by doing something with my hair. Just because I was going to clip it back anyway, I might as well show you how to do a quick victory roll, vintage style roll in the hair. This will not be anything historically accurate or anything, you know, super complicated, just something that's going to look cute and that you could do quickly with your hair. I have this brush, I think it's, I don't know what it's called, it's a back combing brush and it's by Tangle Teezer. I love the Tangle Teezer range, and I'm going to take like a big section in the front. Should have adjusted the camera, but if I put it further away I'm gonna look tiny, and I'm gonna just back comb the roots so it'll look super messy to start with, and then I'm taking that back combing up sort of maybe 2/3 of the way, kind of towards the ends of my hair, and then I'm going to firstly smooth it with my hands. This is just super quick, super basic, so this is just something like a bit of fun. This is not the kind of hairstyling I would do professionally. I'm going to give it a little spray with some hairspray. Any hairspray you've got will do, any strength. I don't think it needs to be a super strong one. And then you can see I'm just using the hairspray to kind of smooth it over a bit more. And then I'm going to take my hand like this. I have really long hair, so I'm going to make quite a big roll. If you need to make a smaller roll, that's fine. My hair's got really long. And I'm starting at the ends and I'm just winding it around my hand like this and rolling back. And you can see that has made a massive quiff type of roll. I think that's going to be too big, so I'm going to make this roll slightly smaller. And when you're to the ends of the hair, just tuck the ends in like that. And there you go, you have a super basic roll in the hair. Like I said, nothing super fancy or complicated, just a little bit of detail. I could spend a lot more time on this. This is just really quick. And also it will keep my hair out of the way. I've kind of moved it to one side as well because I don't like loads of height in the front of my hair. I just don't think it suits my face shape. So I've just kind of swept it over to one side because I really love that side swept look on me. I think it's just my preference. I'm going to do another one just here. So again, just back combing. And because I do have long hair, I'm not putting loads and loads of back comb in. So if I wanted big volume, I would definitely be using smaller sections, so really fine sections of hair, and then bringing them together. And also if I wanted it to be really stable, this is going to look good for, you know, a little while, but it probably will drop. This is just to give this look a bit of something. So ordinarily, if I was going to do any kind of vintage style, I would curl the rest of the hair, but me and my hair are still on a journey. I'm trying to be really kind to my hair and use heat as infrequently as possible. So this is my hair just with a bit of product through it. I washed it the day before yesterday, and I didn't blow dry it, didn't straighten it. And it's, you know, to be honest, my hair is doing pretty well, but I'm not going to curl it today. I'm going to be good. I really want to. So we'll just leave it at that and we'll get started with some makeup. So I'm keen to do quite a modern take on a vintage look. And I know when I did this tutorial years ago, I did quite a matte skin, which I know a lot of people that do their makeup vintage style really like, and so do I. It really works with my skin type as well. But I'm going to do it quite glowy, something that's going to look nice in pictures. And I'm going to start with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. If you haven't heard of this product, it probably means you've never been on Instagram or you've been living under a rock. It's so nice. It gives you a little bit of coverage, like the tiniest little bit, and a little bit of glow as well. And even on my skin, when it's a little bit oily, it doesn't look kind of too shiny and sweaty and unflattering. So I really love this product. I use it on clients all the time. It's gorgeous. I found that it doesn't cause my makeup to break up as well. So a lot of the time I find really glowy products like liquid highlighters and illuminators and things like that, they seem like a really good idea. They look lovely, but after an hour or two your makeup's just separating and sliding all over the place, which is kind of hard to explain to people because you don't get that from seeing a picture of some beautiful, really dewy makeup online. But you totally would face to face in real life. Now I'm going to go in with the foundation, and I'm using one I haven't used before, so this is a bit of a bold move. I'm going to try out the Milani Conceal and Perfect. The shade I have here is Warm Natural. Don't even know if this will be the right colour for me, but I picked this up recently. I've been dying to try it, so let's try it today. It's supposed to be quite full coverage, but we'll see. Okay, I like it so far. Colour's not terrible. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but Boots have started stocking all of these like all of these new brands. I know this has been around in the US for years and years, and probably some other places as well. And I know that we could get it online. I think maybe Beauty Bay was stocking it. But I was so excited to see some new stuff in my local Boots. I bought a few things. This was a little while back, but yeah, where I was kind of getting dressed up over Christmas and stuff. I didn't really want to be trying new things in case I didn't like them. I wanted to look good, so this is lovely. It's giving me a really good coverage, so quite happy with that so far. I've used, I think, 2 pumps to cover my whole face. And I don't feel like I need to use much more really. I think that's looking good. I am going to top up with some concealer. I've got the Fenty Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 120. And I'm mostly just going to focus this around my eyes. I have a different shade that I use for the rest of my face to conceal like redness and blemishes and stuff. But I don't think I'm going to need it because that foundation's done a pretty good job. But my eyes are still very dark and very tired looking. I just got back from holiday to Amsterdam, which was lovely, but I'm shattered. I kind of need a holiday to recover from that holiday, so my eyes are still kind of showing just a little bit of tiredness still. I'm gonna add a bit of powder now. I don't want to make that too matte because I've specifically added a product to make my face glowy and dewy, but I just want to lock that down a little bit, and especially around my eyes because my eyes always smudge. It's just the way the anatomy of my face is. There's not much I can do about it, but I will try and delay any smudging by powdering around my eyes. I realised I haven't used a loose powder in so long, so why not? So I'm using the Fenty Pro Filter Powder. How gorgeous is that packaging. And the shade is Butter. It's a pale yellow. I haven't used a loose powder in so long. I'm probably going to spill this all over my outfit. I remember picking this up in the States in Sephora last January. It just come out over there and I was so excited. And it is a really, really good powder. I have had a lot of use out of this. I just have been gravitating towards pressed powders recently. I definitely go between the two. I like both. In my kit, the vast majority of the time I do use pressed powders because I'm working with clients. The last thing I want to do is spill stuff all over some poor person who's having their makeup done, so they are a bit more practical. But I feel like you get really, really good value from a loose powder. I have had this for a year and there's still loads left. So that's one advantage. So for the skin, to give the skin kind of a vintage vibe, I'm going to go for more blush than bronzer, but I will start just by sculpting my cheekbones a little bit. And I'm going to use the Cover FX palette. What is this called? Perfector face palette. Picked this up in the Black Friday sales and I've been absolutely loving it. I did just take it on holiday with me and it was really, really good. This bronzer, you can see it's got a couple highlighters, finishing powder, blush, bronzer. It's really good for travel. This bronzer does come up stronger than it looks in the pan. It looks fairly light. On the skin it comes up quite dark, on me at least. So I've just very lightly tapped my brush into there. And I'm just gonna carve out my cheekbones just a little bit, nothing major. I'm gonna put a little bit under my chin as well. I had another fat dissolving treatment about a week ago. The swelling's gone down quite a lot, but you can see it is a little bit puffy under there. So yeah, that was quite swollen for a few days. So we're gonna just give myself a helping hand here. So I definitely want my skin to look more kind of blushed than bronzed, which is different for me because I definitely prefer more of a bronzy cheek. But let's give this a go. I'm using this blusher by Too Faced. It's called Love Hangover. And I would use kind of a pinky blush for vintage, but it just doesn't really suit me. So I've gone for kind of a peachy pink. It's not like a straight up peachy apricot colour. It is quite pinky. But for my skin tone, that's about as pink as I would want to go, because otherwise my cheeks do tend to look like a bit sunburnt. So let's give this a try. How cute is this packaging as well? It looks like a Polly Pocket. I used to love those when I was a kid. So to me, that looks like a lot of blusher. It's weird how different things kind of push you out of your comfort zone, isn't it? But it's all going to make sense once I have the eyes done, once I have a nice lip on. So I'm going to stick with it. So I want quite a strong brow with this. I think this is one of the looks that you can totally get away with having a strong brow, strong eyes and a strong lip. So let's go for it. I'm using the Kat Von D Brow Pomade, 24-hour Super Brow. The shade is Taupe. It's really, really good for my hair colour. I love the texture of this as well. It's nice and thick. It's really easy to get a good coverage over the brows. I'm using just a really fine little angled brush. And I don't want to take much product all at once just because I know this is super pigmented, and I'm gonna just start just getting some product down and mapping out the shape that I want to create with my brows. So you can see just from one little dip into that brow pomade, I've come a long way with that. So you want to be careful using this stuff, that you're not just pushing all this product around your face and thinking, what do I do with it? Definitely go steady on this stuff. I always need to come in a little bit however I'm doing my brows, because my brows annoyingly stop, I think, a little bit too soon for my face shape. So they could do naturally with being a bit longer, kind of in towards my nose, but never mind, makeup exists, it's fine. Right, brows are on. I've also primed my eyes, so let's move on to some eyeshadow. Kind of similar to my last video, so my everyday makeup tutorial. I am going to keep the shadow quite simple and make it all about the liner and the lashes. But that being said, I do still want to make a bit of a statement with the shadow. I want to really, really carve out the shape of my eyes. So for this, I'm going to use mostly mattes, and I'm going to use this palette. It's the Elcie Minimalist palette. I'll show you the shades. So handy to have in your makeup collection. There's just so much you can do with it. So yeah, it looks kind of boring, but actually when you get it on your eyes, you do realise kind of how much you'll end up using it. And I do feel like since I got this a few months ago, I have used it most days, so I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to use, just to start off with, this base colour just all over. I've got a big fluffy brush and I'm just going to put that all over my eyes from lid to brow. So just a nice smooth base for the rest of my eye makeup. And then I'm going to use this same fluffy brush and use this nice crease colour just all through the crease of my eyes. I think this colour is so perfect for a lot of skin tones, just to add that definition through the crease. I mean, you can see how much that's bringing my eye shape out already. Now I've got a bit of colour down through the crease, I'm going to take a little bit more of that shadow and I'm going to just bring it up so that it's kind of, I mean, the way my brow shape is, I do make my brows quite long in the tail of the brows. It is kind of intersecting that, which is fine, but I'm going to bring it up so it's this nice upturned wing shape, just through the crease of my eyes. I just want to really give my eyes lots and lots of lift, and I feel like because it's a vintage inspired look, you can get away with going just a bit more dramatic with the shapes and things. Also with the shape of the lips and lip product, I feel like I can go just a bit more fun with the shape of that as well. So why not do that with the eyes too? So I'm bringing my shadow out and just kind of blending it into the temples, which is something I really like to do. If I'm doing a smoky eye as well, I feel like it looks really good to take your crease colour, your transition colour, and just take it up and kind of blend it out almost like a bronzer through the temples. I love doing that. So yeah, I'm just creating that really fun, kind of really big shape with the eyes. I'm now going to take a slightly smaller brush and I'm going to use this nice deep brown here and just pop that right on the outer corners of the eye. So right just here, right on that outside corner, and I'm just blending it inwards ever so slightly, and then also blending it out again kind of towards my temples, but not very far at all. I'm going to pop a little bit of that dark brown underneath the eyes as well, and also put a brown liner in, just a pencil liner in my waterline, and then I'll come back. So I've gone fairly heavy under my eyes, only because it is all done in smoky browns, so it's still not a smoky eye. I just think it's a way to make my eyes look a bit bigger and a bit fuller. So the brows are done, the eyeshadow's done. I'm going to now do the liner, and I'm going to use a product that I haven't used on my channel before. This is the NYX matte liquid liner, and it isn't a felt tip pen. That is what I've got into using recently. It is one that you dip, so you dip the brush into the liner. But this one, it's so good. I've used this for years and years and years. It's so dark. It's so easy to get a really dark kind of dramatic wing on your liner. So for that reason, I still really love it, and it's really affordable as well. I do have a separate video on liner and liner hacks, but let's do one eye together at least, because I'm going to go quite fun with the shape of this. So I'm going to start as usual on the outer corner of my eye, and I'm going to take this wing really high towards my brow. So you can see that that's going at a really kind of dramatic upward angle. And I'm going to start just filling in here. So I'm just starting to fill in that outer third of my eye. And then I'm just using whatever's left on the brush, and I'm just joining the liner at this inner corner. I'm going to just tidy that up. I want to keep this fairly fine, just for my eye shape. When my eyes are open, you don't see much of my eyelids, and I want this look to be all about the liner and the lashes as well. I just think that makes it look really feminine, really pretty, when you can just see those nice fluffy wispy lashes on the eye. I know when my eyes are open, if I put loads of liner on, that's all you see. So I'm going to keep this quite fine, give it a tidy up, pop those lashes on, and then I'll come back. Now that the eyes are done, let's move on to the lips, which I think is my favourite part of this look, because I love a red lip and it has to be done, doesn't it? So I'm going to use my all-time favourite red lipstick, which is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Redrum. This is a little tiny baby one, which is so cute. It was from the set that he did with Morphe. But yeah, I do have a full size of this kicking around at all times as well, because I just love it. I love the formula, I love the colour, so comfortable to wear. So I'm going to just start by getting some colour down on my lips, and then I'm going to have some fun with the shape, and I want to do a really defined Cupid's bow. So that's not even, that's not tidy, but the bulk of my lip is now filled in. So I'm going to take just, I've got the tiniest little bit on the applicator, and I'm just going to really define my Cupid's bow, because I think that's fun for a vintage look. I think it does make it look just a little bit more, just a bit more kind of cheeky and pin-up-y, which I really love. And there we go, that is our finished look. I am proud of myself for not caving and curling my hair, because all year so far, I know we're only like 2 weeks in, I haven't used heat on it at all. And I'm really hoping that that will just further improve the condition of my hair. But yeah, that is a super fun, super easy, pin-up, vintage 1950s inspired look. It's been really fun to do this actually, and that was one of the first videos I ever posted on my channel years ago when I used to do YouTube. So yeah, I'm looking forward to wearing this all day. Anything vintage inspired is just always ends up being my favourite type of look on me and on clients as well, so I'm really excited that I get to wear this all day. I'll catch up with you next time. Bye!